Blessings, y'all, and I pray that um, your Sunday is going well. I'm outside because it was pretty, and I didn't want to bring my big stand to, do this. So I'm kind of thugging it a little bit with holding the phone, but I'm gonna get this out. I spoke last week about um, sharing a word about the foolish things. I thought it was from foolish to foolproof, but it wasn't. It's from foolish to wise, shameful to shameless, and powerless to powerful. Yeah. For those of you who do not know me, I am Brandy, and thanks for stopping by. But I'm going to be coming from 1 Corinthians 1 in regards to this, and I'm going to read from, I believe it's verse 18 to 29, 30, 18 to 30. And then I'm going to piggyback off of that with something that I wrote, and then I'm kind of elaborate on a couple of things. Okay, so starting with 18, says the message of the cross is foolish to those, ooh, blessed Jesus, who are headed for destruction. But we who are being saved know it is the power of God. As the scriptures say, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and discard the intelligence of the intelligent. So where does this leave the philosophers, the scholars, the world's brilliant debaters? God has made the wisdom of the world look foolish, since God in his wisdom saw it that the world would never know him through human wisdom. He has used our foolish preaching to save those who believe. It is foolish to the Jews who ask for signs from heaven, and it is foolish to the Greeks who seek human wisdom. So when we preach that Christ was crucified, the Jews are offended, and the Gentiles say it is all nonsense. But to those called by God to salvation, both Jews and Gentiles, Christ is the power of God and the wisdom of God. This foolish plan of God is wiser than the wisest of human plans, and God's weakness is stronger than the greatest of human strength. Remember, dear brothers and sisters, that few of you were wise in the world's eyes, or powerful or wealthy when God called you. Instead, God chose things the world considers foolish in order to shame those who think they are wise. And he chose things that are powerless to shame those who are powerful. God chose things despised by the world. These things counted as nothing at all, and used them to bring to nothing what the world considers important. As a result, no one can ever boast in the presence of God. God has united you with Christ Jesus. For our benefit, God made him to be wisdom itself. Okay, I'm gonna elaborate on something that I wrote. Say, God will allow your embarrassment to become your elevation. The same people who mocked you, spoke defamatory words on your name, discredited your abilities, manipulated you into believing or doing things that they didn't even really believe you should be doing, will be the very people He elevates you in front of, and in some cases, will use them to assist in what he is doing for you. When you're yielded to him, he has free reign to work on your behalf. When you are mocked for the sake of following him and his instruction, he honors you because you're honoring him. Not because he has to, but because he loves us that much. Wow. Think about the woman with the issue of blood. How many years it had been, with her carrying that issue. And from my understanding during that time, like a woman who was, bleeding, wasn't supposed to be out. She wasn't really supposed to be in the midst of people and whatever the case may be. And she, in my eyes, having that kind of issue, could have been leaking, like literally leaking. You know what I'm saying? And she made her way to to Jesus. She made her way to him just because she believed that much. And I know they thought this woman in her actions was foolish to be doing what she was doing. But because she trusted and believed, she did it. And because of that, she was healed. She was healed. And I wanted to go to Luke 10 to just kind of elaborate on Martha and Mary when Jesus had come to, I believe it was Martha's home. Yeah. Okay. It says, as Jesus and the disciples continued on their way to Jerusalem, they came to a certain village where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. Her sister Mary sat at the Lord's feet, listening to what he taught. But Martha was distracted by the big dinner she was preparing. She came to Jesus and said, Lord, doesn't it seem unfair to you that my sister just sits here while I do all the work? Tell her to come and help me. But the Lord said to her, my dear Martha, you are worried and upset over these details. There is only one thing worth being concerned about. Mary has discovered it, and it will not be taken away from her. Martha thought it was foolish that Mary was just sitting and being still. She thought that Mary was supposed to be up and moving around, being a busybody and helping her prepare. When literally at that moment, this is Jesus, like at that moment, all she should have been doing was just paying attention to what he was saying, being still. Sometimes we look foolish for being still. Sometimes we look foolish for going to the left when they're telling us to go straight ahead. But to the left is the direction that God had given us to go. But it looks like desolate land. It looks like nothing is to the left. And it's a lot that's straight ahead. But if we go straight ahead and we walk into the busyness of what is a lot, we could get lost in that busyness of what's a lot. When if we go left, because he told us to go left, there's wisdom to the left, and there's wisdom to prepare us for what it is that he has. Sometimes we have to look foolish to the masses in order to be elevated by the master. We don't have to try to look wise to people because we are connected to the wisest.